Good evening and welcome to RC's Station Talk. This is Elliot, your host today, and I will be alone today talking about various subjects. This is a new revamping of Station Talk about 5 years later. Um, it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've done a Station Talk, or anyone really. Um, I wish I could report that RRC is blossoming well and doing lots of different projects and has really grown over these last 5 years. But that is not the case. We have mostly stagnated, to be truthfully honest, and have done very little. Most due to life and us becoming adults and going slightly different but altogether parallel paths. Not a sad thing, but troublesome if you're trying to work creatively with each other when everyone's moving and for some of us getting married and things like that. So, through these challenges, it provides an interesting perspective when talking to people who make things for enjoyment of others and themselves. Today, I will be mostly just talking into a microphone about my own processes and things that I do, troubles that I've overcome, still struggle with today, and things I've learned, and how I would like to structure this new station talk. In the past, we used it to kind of talk about what we were currently working on. That was back when we were in high school and had more time than what we knew to do with. Oh boy. They keep telling you, you don't know what you have until it's gone. And that time, oh, how precious that time is now. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about is, of course, becoming an adult. You have to have certain responsibilities that go along with living. All of those things take time. Time is the resource that we all use, and sometimes frankly, disregard all too often. Because when you are juggling a job and taking care of yourself, all too often at the end of the day, do you find you have no time to work on the things that you would like to, that bring you joy. And that is something that I really struggled with, not being a super time structured person. I was always on time, but I just didn't have a itinerary. And I still don't. But I also found that people, and especially myself, make time for the things that they want to make time for. If it was important enough to me, I made sure the time was created to do those things. And I know a lot of my peers also struggle with this same thing. Of not having the energy, also a big one, to sit down and write what they need to write or create whatever they're creating. And I don't think there's a super simple one-trick hack for this. That would be too easy. And if I have learned anything over my 23 years in this world, there's nothing that is that easy. Tricks like that are on a personal level. You could search up as many times as you want on YouTube of how to schedule your time, how to do creative things while you're jam-packed busy. Most of those probably won't work for you. But what I find works is wanting to do something bad enough that you figure it out. Work that problem. Do not give up on it. Don't throw your hands in the air and say, I just don't have time for this. And if you want it and you want to do that, and you want to do something, work the problem. Try to find those moments when you can work on it. Because the underlying message that I want to send through this is your creativeness matters. Working on what you want matters. You can be as busy as you want to be. That you can schedule all 24 hours in the day to work, get paid to work at your job, and then come back home and then just keep working. But the opposite is not true. You cannot relax, make as much time as you want. Your responsibilities start getting in the way. You do have to pay your bills if you wish to have those things that those bills pay for. But I find when combating not having time. It's the small wins that make the big picture. What I mean by this is that there's a lot of things throughout my day, specifically in my case, that slow me down. And by streamlining those very small, minute things can really create the small gaps of time that I need to just sit down and do what I need to do. Another trap that I know I fall into is getting so overwhelmed and stressed over the fact that the time that I have created is so minuscule that I have to use it responsibly sometimes does not work in my favor. And I have to sometimes take a minute or two just to calm down, to focus on what I'm working on. There are a lot of obstacles in this day and age that really just grab your attention and really don't let go, or try to steal as much time as they can from you. And you do have to fight that as much as you can. Limit distraction, which is said a lot. So there might be something there. A problem that I see a lot is being so fixated on who you are today and so caught up on how insignificant your skills are or your talent is, or just being bogged down by where you are currently, that it makes it difficult to move forward to be who you wish you were. I don't really suffer from that too much, mostly because I over romanticize my process, what I do. I enjoy the art of doing, of sitting down, bogging down in the grueling work sometimes. I'm not saying I like the grueling work. I just enjoy the mental image of myself doing that, which sounds insane to me, but it works. But it doesn't really sound that weird because people romanticize librarians of old times or the farmers. Like, that's the whole point of homesteaders, that whole genre of romanticization of these boring menial chores to preserve oneself out in the forest. While that work would absolutely suck, feeling of freedom is what makes it so popular, and people can look upon that lifestyle with fondness and romanticize it. And my personal belief is that it is very important to romanticize your process, how you do things. If you can look at the boring work that you do and go, that's super cool. That's super cool, man, that you're doing that. It makes it so much easier to do, to tolerate, to stomach, to look past the hour and a half you just spent editing things out of your book just to make it visually look a little bit nicer. Being able to look upon that time and go, yeah, that was a really boring job to do, but I want to be someone who is able to do that and have some pride in yourself because you are the person who can do it. Go and do that. Yeah, this is rambling on a lot, but this is my episode, damn it. So I'm going to ramble about what I want. If you're here, you're probably not a fan. Which is a terrible thing for me to say, but generally Station Talk is not for you, but for me, which is kind of what I want it to be. I want the people that I interview to be able to look upon their episode and go, man, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Or, man, I really nailed it on the head that time. Or, man, I've really grown since then. Any one of those is good, really, because that's kind of the point. This is a station in your life that you're at, and that's why we're talking about it. And hopefully by the next station, you can look upon the last one and kind of reflect on it. And I think that's kind of the whole ethos of this entire thing. None of the people who are on this should ever think about the people who watch it. Not really, because you shouldn't be making it for them. You should be making it because, again, you've romanticized the process. You enjoy being a person who does this. So third point is something that I watched today or found today was the main habit of successful creatives. Dominic Hart, the one habit you can't track. And I'll put a link in the doobly-doo. Essentially what I was saying is
The one habit that really led that guy to success was the delusional optimism, essentially. The unyielding optimism, even through multiple signs that it wasn't gonna go his way. Some people might call this hard-headedness, tenacity, the ability to keep going, even though all hope is lost. Of course, when I see a video about positive traits that a person could have, I go, ah, yes, I have that. But genuinely, why shouldn't I? And why shouldn't anyone else who's on this station talk? Why can't this be something that people can learn to do? Which is easy to say, very easy to say, and hard to practice. But essentially, when you feel like giving up, double down. You might surprise yourself. The world isn't as nasty as it seems. It's cold and uncaring, but you're alive. You can adapt. You can overcome. You can replan, pivot, and move on. So what if it's cold? Bring a jacket. If it's uncaring, you know that. But why should you care about what it thinks? That's my thing I need to work on. Just maybe consider that other people aren't me. They're not going to do what I do. They're not going to act how they're not going to make decisions like me. They got other issues, problems, responsibilities. They're not going to do what I do. And that's okay. They're not going to reach for the stars because maybe they don't want to break their ankle on the way down. But I'm okay if I break my ankle because I'll get back up and I'll do it again. And that's what this is. That's what station talk is. So if I see you on your way to the stars, I'll make sure to smile and wave, whether I'm going up or down. See you at the next station.